Okay, so I've committed the changes for device confirmable, and let's start the server. And once again, I'm trying to sign up. I put in some kind of random email, and I cannot sign in until I confirm my password. So I will try to confirm the password. I go back to the logs. Here it is. Your address has been confirmed, and I again have to log in. So what if we automatically log the user in when he confirms his email address? And we also have this in this confirmable documentation. So we can create a confirmations controller. Let's do that. We will go to our app controllers, new file, confirmations controller. And here we will add this code. So confirmations controller that inherits from device. And we have this after confirmation path for resource. Resource is user, sign in user, and here we are going to have the path. We'll have root path. Okay, and let's go back. We need to initialize this controller and this action in our roots. So we'll go to roots.rb. There's our config. Let's find our config. In config, we have roots.rb. And here we're going to say device for users. And the confirmations controller is going to get the information from our confirmations controller. Okay, so let's see if it works. I'll restart the server. Now I will try to create a new account, sign up. Okay, I go and confirm the account, and you see I'm automatically signed in. So I did not have to put the password in once again. So this way it's going to work nicer. Okay, we've worked quite a lot on confirmable, and now let's actually make a page on which we can see all our users. At the moment, we have a users table. In our schema, we can see we have just one table, users, but we have no option to see all the users in our application. And the current user can only access his account settings, but he cannot see his email, whether he's confirmed, and so on. So they're going to add some kind of views. And for this, we're going to create a new controller. It's going to be called users controller.rb. And in a similar way, how static pages controller inherits from applications controller, we are going to have a users controller that inherits from application controller. And in this controller, we are going to have a few pages. One page is going to be def index, in which we will list all the users. So at users equals user.all. And the second page is going to be def show. And on this page, we will see a unique user. So we will have at user equals user.find, and we are going to find the user by the params. So basically, we will have a users page on which we will see all the users, and a user page where we will be able to find the user by the ID. So such a URL would bring us to the user with ID 12, and such a page would bring us to all the users. Now, we will have user find by params ID. Okay, so we have edited our controller, and now we need to edit our roots. So we are going to our roots, and we're going to say that we're going to have resources, users, and we're going to have just two actions, index and show. Only index and show. And now we need to create these views. Actually, we can already see if these pages are accessible. We try to go to users, and you see users controller index is missing a template. So we just miss our views. So let's go to views. In views, we are going to create a new folder, users, and here we will have a page called index.html.erb. It's empty now, so we should have an empty page. And here we will say all users, for example. So here we will have a list of all the users. And on a page like users/1, we will have the personal page of the user with ID 1. So the first user that was created in the database. We'll create a new file, show.html.erb. And here we'll have a personal page of a user. Now let's customize these. So we have created a new controller, users controller. We've added it to our roots, resources, users, only index and show. We've created a folder with our views, users that has index and show. And let's say we'll do it in such a way. We will have a partial named user.html.erb. And in this partial, we will have equals user.id and all the other personal information of the user that we want to have. Okay, it should be not ERB, but yeah, actually it's correct. User.html.erb. Here we have user ID, for example, and let's make this partial available both in index and in show. So in show, we will say equals render users/user. Let's see if this works. Let's go to the user page, or the page of the user with ID 1, and you see undefined local variable named user. So we have to say that user is @user. And here we see the ID of the user on whose page we are now. So we can get more information. We can get user.email. Then we can get user. Whether the user is confirmed, true or false. Let's put this into different lines. Let's add some breaks. Okay, so user ID 2, the email is student, confirmed true. Let's add some more here. ID, then email, then confirmation. And here we have some basic details about the user. Let's make this text bold. Here and here. Okay. I did bold not in the HTML format. It should be like this, in such braces. So bold for ID, bold for email, and bold for confirmation. And looks slightly better. Now we can remove this just text called user. And if we go to the page of user 2, we see his ID, email, and confirmation. And if we go to users, here we will list all our users. So we can go to our index and iterate through all the users. Add users. We already said in our users control that add users are user.all. So users dot each do user. So we're going to iterate through all the users. And then we're going to have an end statement. And we're going to render the same template, the same user template, users/user. Okay, let's see if this works. Now undefined method user, so we'll say user is user. And here we have the list of all the users. Now let's add some kind of breaks. Okay, and this way we can have some kind of basic list of all the users. So they are, of course, not ordered, not really ordered. First, we have user with ID 2, then ID 1. So let's also add some kind of basic order. So here we'll add dot order created at ascending. Let's see how it works. And this way we have the oldest created users first. Now, if we, okay, I'll go back. If we want this order to be different, so if we want the newest created users on top, we would make it descending order. And we can also make it so that when we press the user ID, for example, we will be able to automatically view his personal page. So here we'll have a link to user ID at user path for this user. Okay, and when we press the ID of the user, we go to his personal page. So this way we can have a basic index view and show view for our users. And notice I didn't write the views, different views for rendering the user data for index and for show. I'm just using one same partial for both index and show. And this way it can, in some cases, just make you the possibility of writing fewer code and having reusable templates. Now, let's go back. Here I'm on a personal page of a user and I have no way to go back to see all the users. So I will go to show, and here under this, I will add an additional link. So link to all users, and the path is going to be users path. And we'll add some kind of additional break here. So here we have on each personal page of the user a link to see all the users. And we can also add our users to our navigation. So let's go to our layouts, header. And here we have a link to our root path. And we're going to copy this and have a link to our users path. Now here we are going to have font awesome users. I know that such an icon exists. Here we'll get at the name users. And here we are going to also add users. Okay, and you see we have our users open. Now we have our homepage open. We go to a specific user page. So this way our application is becoming more and more lively. And that's it for this lecture.